Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The scream tore from my throat before I even realized it was mine. 1 second I was standing in the brightly lit hallway outside my daughter's classroom, and the next I was staring at the photo on another mother's phone. My pulse hammering so violently I felt it in my teeth. The man in the picture had his arm around her waist, his mouth pressed to her neck in a way I knew intimately, the way he always kissed me when he wanted me to forget my doubts. It was my teacher's husband. It was Daniel, and the woman whose phone trembled in her hand was my daughter's teacher. For a moment, the world went silent, as if the school's chatter and footsteps and the distant echo of basketballs bouncing in the gym had dropped away. Only the thud of my heart remained, raw and punishing. "I'm sorry," she whispered, clutching the phone like it burned. Her name was Maria, and she didn't know me beyond parent meetings and polite greetings. But her eyes held the same bone-deep hurt I felt slicing through me. "He said his marriage was over," she murmured. "He said he was trying to leave quietly, for his daughter." I believed him. My stomach twisted until nausea clawed up my throat. I had believed him too. For months, the hallway blurred. The ceiling lights became harsh, spinning rings. There was no air. I stumbled into the empty classroom nearby and pressed my hands against the desk as the truth crashed through me. Every late-night message, every whispered promise, every excuse for sudden business trips, every inconsistency I had forced myself not to examine too closely. Every moment I convinced myself that he was complicated, conflicted, trapped. He wasn't trapped. He was cheating on me, and he was cheating on her. I didn't hear Maria enter the room, but I felt her presence behind me, trembling, broken. When I turned, she looked smaller than she had minutes ago. Her shoulders curled inward like she expected another hit of truth to strike her any second. "How long?" she asked, barely audible. "Months," I said. My voice was a cracked whisper, my chest tight enough to ache. Her hand rose to her mouth, and I saw the exact instant she counted backward, connecting dates, nights her husband hadn't come home, excuses that suddenly seemed paper-thin. The betrayal doubled in weight because it wasn't just mine. It had split itself between two women who had never wronged each other. Two women who had believed the same man. The classroom door creaked. We both snapped our heads around. And there he was. Daniel froze in the doorway, holding a forgotten lunchbox he must have returned to pick up. His eyes flicked from me to Maria, and something inside him faltered. I saw the exact moment he realized his worlds had collided. When he opened his mouth, the first thing he reached for was a lie. "I can explain." I let out a laugh that shook with hysteria. "No," I said softly. "You can't." Maria stepped forward, her hands curled into trembling fists. "How many?" she asked him. Not with anger, with devastation. He swallowed. His throat moved like the answer hurt him too. Two. The word hung in the room like a blade. I folded my arms around myself, trying to hold the pieces together. Maria took a step back, her foot hitting one of the student chairs. She caught herself, but her face had drained of all color. "Was any of it real?" she asked him. His jaw tightened. His gaze flicked to me, then back to her. "I cared about you both," he said. It was the worst thing he could have said. A strange calm washed over me, like sinking into cold water. My heartbeat slowed. My mind began piecing clarity together from shards of hurt. "You didn't care," I said. "You consumed. You took whatever we gave and told each of us exactly what you needed to keep us quiet." Maria nodded slowly, tears sliding down her cheeks. "You told me you loved me." He closed his eyes, and I saw what he feared most. Not losing either of us, but losing control of the story. "If you both just let me explain privately," he tried again. "No," I said. "This ends in the same room where it blew apart." Maria looked at me then with something almost like solidarity. A bond formed from shared wounds. She spoke first. "My son deserves better than a father who lies." I took a breath, finding my own truth. "My daughter deserves better than a man who forgets he has a family." His eyes widened. "You're leaving me?" I stared at him, stunned at the audacity of the question. "We're both leaving you." Maria and I walked out together. Not friends, not allies, but survivors of the same storm, stepping into the same corridor of truth. Behind us, Daniel called our names, but neither of us turned back. The school bell rang then, loud enough to make us both flinch. A new hour beginning. A new life too. And as my daughter ran into my arms moments later, I held her tightly, knowing one thing with painful clarity.